Yep, maybe we're not doing that. Why is there an insane amount of posts this time of year? It's October. Duh. Peachtober, badtober, magtober, mosstober, inktober. Basically any word that you can put tober behind, it exists. I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I'm Lo. The prompt list was posted the 1st of September. I started planning for Peachtober the 1st of September, so I've done prep beforehand. At one point, I procrastinated sketching for Peachtober so much that I started a Patreon. I was so unwilling to do prep work for Peachtober that I started a Patreon. So consider this my announcement. I have a Patreon now. There's only one tier right now. That will be changing in the beginning of November. There's a post on that on the Patreon. Moving on. In addition, all the final drawings are over on my Instagram, so you can head over there if you want to see them in HD on your screen. Right, just you can put it as close to your face as you want. I did Peachtober last year as well, and I mentioned that filming the process of Peachtober was a nightmare and that I would not be doing it again. Now, last year I made short form content. I made one video per drawing. So this is infinitely more difficult. I am making it so much harder on myself this year. Welcome back to the Lonely Girl Studio metaverse. I have moved my clothing rack and placed it on top of my bed to hide it. And by me telling you that, I have effectively cancelled out the entire point of me hiding my laundry. Technically, and I could not tell you this, but it is actually 2 days before. Technically, day one is in 2 days. Originally, I was planning on being very literal with it and being like, I am doing day one on day one, and so on and so forth. But the thing is, I'm speaking from experience. I know this because I've done October art challenges several times now. Anytime you get like even a little bit of a head start, like by day 5, you don't have a head start anymore. So why not set myself up for like a little bit of success for at least like the first couple of days by starting out a little bit early. I was planning on going to the gym today, but then I ended up sleeping 4 hours past my alarm. So, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get a fucking Monster Energy drink. The one thing that is keeping me and a league of like Valorant gamers alive. Interesting framing we've got going on. Hold on. Welcome to day 1 of Peachtober. Day 1's prompt is acorn, and I'm gonna be so honest. I was like, oh man, day 1, and it's a bad one. I'm not the art prompt police, okay? I don't get to make necessarily too many judgments on what is considered a good or a bad art prompt. However, I am allowed my own personal opinions, and the prompt acorn does nothing for me personally. I have a sketch already, and you will see that like I have done preparations for the different days. It slowly starts to like trickle out the further along in the month we get, so like towards like the last week. And there are some days in like the earlier weeks as well where I was kind of just like, that is a bridge I will build when I get to it. But for acorn, for day 1, I have a sketch done, and it's a pretty detailed sketch because I was like, I'm going to be so prepared. So like I have like color, I like a colored fucking sketch in. It is probably the most detailed sketch out of the entire month. My first, I don't know if you could call it a plan, but my first hope was, because I have had this painting idea in my head, and I did a sketch, and I was like, no, I don't know. Like, I'll push a prompt pretty far. For my submission last year for the prompt pearl, I drew teeth because of the saying pearly whites. So like, hey, I'm no stranger to like trying to see how far I can push it, but I was like, no. We are going literal. We are I'm painting a fucking acorn. I am doing it digitally. The word digitally, I cannot say it, and like every time I film and I have to say it, I mess up at least like 3 times, and then I just cop out and I say, do it on my iPad. So I'm doing it on my iPad. I'm hoping that throughout Peachtober, I will, 1, not stress myself out to the fucking gods, and 2, have like a certain feeling of like art not being scary, because that's something I have a tendency to like blow things up in my head and be like, oh my god, I'm gonna waste so much time and it's not gonna be good, and then I've wasted all this time and all these resources and I should have just... And like sometimes a drawing can just be a fucking drawing, you know? Enough yapping, let's start painting. I bet you're so fucking sick and tired and just over it of hearing me say this, but I want the digital art to look somewhat traditional. And I keep doing this thing where either I zoom in way too much when I'm drawing, and or, because sometimes it's a combo, it's a double header combo of zooming in too much and using way too small of a brush. The thing that I like about traditional paintings is the charm of like, what the fuck is going on here? I have no control. And it being like visible in the painting. Like on a piece of paper, you can't just paint your way in. It will be my ruin. It will be my 13th reason, is me zooming in way too far. And like, don't worry, I do realize it way too far into the painting. And I don't think I necessarily rectify it. I don't think day 1 is good. Okay, I'm going to come out and say it. I don't think it's good. But they can't all be winners. It's just very unfortunate that number 1, like day 1 of this 30-day thing, is so bad. It is... I have done the thing that I always do when I paint digitally. I have used too small of a brush and it looks ugly. I think it looks so messy. I guess I'm going to have to go over this with a bigger brush and just take details out of it, which is an interesting approach, I'll admit. So that's, hey, nothing I want to do more on a Monday evening. pretty sure I could sit here for like forever trying to figure out like specifically what it is that is throwing me off about this. But I think maybe I just need to get over myself and be like, yep, this is it. This is peachtober day 1. I'm calling it. This is it. I'm done. We're done. Donezo. And different approach this time. Because see, now I didn't burn my fucking fingers off. That had no visual effect on anything that you're seeing. I need that burner. Welcome, peachtober, day 2. I started off my day, once again, overslept. And I also took a look at day 1, like the finished, I took a look at the finished product from day 1. Absolute poo-poo garbage. But in the spirit of peachtober being a daily art challenge, I have 31 chances throughout October to come up with something good. There has to be some duds in there. Am I gonna be like embarrassed by posting it? Probably, but I don't have time to worry about that because we're moving on to day 2. The prompt for day 2 was kite. Once again, when I read the prompt, I was like, ooh, 2 bad ones in a row. Like, initial reaction, week 1, I was like, oh, there's one thing that like makes me want to create something on this list. Great. And that's day 5. So we have 4 days before that to like figure it out. Initial plan was silhouette of a kite, you know, what is this? Charades? My initial plan was the silhouette of a kite and then with a sky inside of it. And then I sketched it out and I was like, I don't like it. Then I played with the idea of those, and I don't know which country we're working with, kites that are shaped like fish. And then I thought about it. No. And then I was like, well, the prompt is kite, but like I don't have to like pay that. I don't have to spend much time on the kite, do I? I'm doing a landscape and the kite will be in the landscape. I think I might be like one of 3 artists on this platform that is more comfortable working with acrylic than gouache. So I think I might paint with acrylic. I have a sketch, and when I say sketch, that is being so generous because it is basically like a rectangle with a line in the middle and some blobs. And that's it. And I hate to do this. I think I might have like a presentation board or something in the basement. And to be honest, I don't want to go down there because that's where the spiders live. It's a mutual agreement. They leave me alone, and as long as I leave them alone, and it has worked great so far. I think maybe we start off today by me going down into the layer and seeing if I have something like that I can tape the paper to. Could I have possibly put it at the bottom of the box with all of my like sketchbooks and stuff? Because it's not down here, that's for sure. Okay. I actually have like pretty long limbs, but for some reason today, nope, there we go. Got it. It looks to be at the bottom. Here we go. Haha. You know, wearing black might not have been like the best idea for this. So I've like done something. I don't know how to paint clouds. Clouds are more of like a concept to me. I'm struggling with like knowing when to stop. I think I might be close to like having to knock it off. What I am feeling, however, from doing this, that I really hate day number one. I only paint with flat brushes. So with my whole detail thing, if I just have these brushes, you can't do that. And then I need to add the kite. The kite is just going to be line art. Like white paint. We're doing charades again. I guess we'll see if someone has like a great tutorial on how to paint clouds on YouTube.
Next way is the same technique but on wet blue paint. And this gives a very, but try them out.
Thank you, the artery online. I guess I will be using your wet on wet technique. And if it sucks, you'll be hearing from my lawyer. And also I'll just paint over it. I'll just paint over the entire thing when it's done. Not loving this. Not loving it at all. Okay, so I hate this. This looks so bad. I guess we don't have any clouds in this painting. I've decided that just now that this painting doesn't have clouds. So, day 3. For the previous days, as I've mentioned, I've done some preparations. And like day 1 and day 2, I mean, day 1 had 2 different concepts. Day 2 had a sketch. Day 3, this is what we're working with for day 3. I'll read you the notes that I have. Slug, snail, sluggish, slimy, rainy road, wet pavement, rain. Literally, what the fuck, how do I make a slug cute? And that's it. So that's where I was at, you know, the moment of waking up. And once against to create and prepare for Peachtober this year, I have used kittl, which is the sponsor of this video. She has sponsors now. Kittl is an all-in-one design platform for creators looking to make visuals and graphics. So if you're making content for social media like thumbnails or title cards, a pitch, designing merch, Kittl has you covered. They have a huge library of templates if you want a jumping off point, with instructions if you're like me and new things are scary. Or you can just start from scratch with a completely blank canvas. The canvas is like it's unlimited, never ending, infinite, so you can just keep adding things. Kittl lets you create a brand kit, so things are always staying consistent. You don't have to write everything down over and over again, and you don't have to keep looking for where you wrote it down because it's already saved for you. I am talking from experience. Kittl isn't an app, so you don't have to download anything. Fonts, brand kits, templates, they're all there when you need them on your browser. And if you're working in a team, you can collaborate in real time. For Peachtober, I use Kittl to create mood boards and collect my ideas for the different days. And with the infinite canvas, I was able to put all the prompts, references, sketches on one board and work my way through them. Some days I collected way too much inspiration and had to use multiple artboards to narrow it down. Other days, not so much. If you'd like to try Kittl for free, there's a link in the description. And if you use my code LOYT, if you use my code LOYT, you get 25% off any membership of Kittl if you're a new user. Thank you to Kittl for sponsoring this part of the video, and we'll get back to the slug. Fear not, because I had an idea while I was walking back from checking my PO box. This is not me saying that you guys need to send me things to my PO box. This is me saying that I am in an active disagreement with the post office. Every time I check my PO box, it's just like junk mail. I'm like, hey, is there anything we can do about this? Because I don't want to come here every week and then have to throw away multiple advertisements for like furniture. And this guy was like, no, I don't think so. What do you mean? You're the one who put it there. And then he suggested putting a sticker on the outside of the PO box. And I had to remind him, well, that's not really gonna help me because you're putting the mail there from the back. And he's like, oh yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Great. I had this idea when I was walking because the new 𝐬𝐤 album came up on my Spotify, and it has an interesting cover art. I want to call it binary codes, but that's not it either. It's basically just like text and symbols. And hey, I have nothing for day 3. I have no idea. There's only the word slug and like the knowledge that I have to do something. So I might as well. So I guess I'll see if I can figure out how to create a slug out of like 1s and 2s. Welcome back. What you've missed out on was me posting day 1 on Instagram and eating lunch, which was a quesadilla that was still cold in the middle. So now I'm going to do day 3. I need it to be a square. We have the slug and we have the art reference. So what it looks like is bold letters have been used as like shadow. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just try. I'll just start and we'll see how it goes. We'll take it from there. Because if I do this and then I do new line, spaces. But if I do more changes here, is that gonna, wait, okay, if I write this here. If I then do, okay, so it's not gonna change the line below. Good to know. I wonder if I should have a sketch underneath and then try to fill it in. Yeah, I should probably do that. Let's do the world's quickest sketch, like quickest sketch ever known to man. Why does it look like that? Why? Okay. Can I, with the artboard, I'm pretty sure I can like lower the opacity. Hello? No? Okay. Yep. 25. Okay. See, that's better. I can zoom in. I don't have to lean in towards the laptop. Way too small. Let's do 50. Hello? Are we doing this again? Maybe I'll misuse my contact within kittl and be like, hey, by the way, I have one complaint. Okay, so 35 maybe? Because it needs to be like close. Yeah. 35. Hey. I'm about as confused as you are. Where's the backslash? How do I get the backslash? There! Okay. You know what? I might be good at this. It is looking awfully dark. Why is that? Well, it's 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. and I underestimated the slug. So I'm gonna have. I didn't think that me just typing on the keyboard would just piss me off this much. Cause I feel like I need to change up the things like the letters, as if it has anything to say.
Kind of surprised on whatever answer I came up with at the time, and then I go to my room and cry for the rest of the night because it's just not fair.
We often assume that if a woman kills, it somehow is the victim's fault. If the victim is a man, we assume that the man.
Doug Zilletto murder. Prosecutors alleged Trujillo hit Dr. Stefan Anderson in the head 45 times with her 5.5-inch.
I couldn't breathe. She was claiming that Dr. Anderson had abused her, but physically, mentally, and emotionally.
You would agree that you can base your verdict, your sole verdict, on science. You know from the crime scene that he was on the ground as all of the strikes, all 25 plus.
Me and said that I murdered him. I did not murder him. I loved it.
On life when we were both a little bit more grown up, then yeah, I think it would have been. Yeah, it would have been happily ever after.
We've done it, folks. We have reached the pivotal moment of I'm over it. I've added, so I kept copying and pasting to try to get certain like spaces darker and other places. Like I kept like removing like one letter here and there. It's definitely the shape of a slug. I do wish I knew how to get like a more, because the background is just one color. You know what? Okay. we are setting a timer for 15 minutes for me to fuck around with the background. And if it's not done by the 15 minutes, it's not happening. I think I got it. Ish. Do I wish that there were things I'd done differently? Sure, but isn't that life? Isn't that just life? Cool. Slug. Can't wait for all of the other times where I am not prepared at all. Good morning, Baltimore. Days like today is why I will lay my life down defending starting our challenges a couple of days early, because I have a sneaking suspicion. Scratch that. It is not sneaking at all. It is hurling towards me at 100 miles per hour. I'm not going to be able to finish gingham today. I'm not going to be able to finish the prompt for day 4 today. I have an appointment today from 1 to 5, which is insane. Like, appointments in legitimately the middle of the day? For what? For what? My plan was an illustration of someone lying on a gingham picnic blanket. But I don't want to do that now. Lo, from 2-3 weeks ago, different person. I don't know her. She doesn't speak for me. And since I yesterday went so far out of my comfort zone, I figured I might as well just stay here, out of my comfort zone. So instead of an illustration, I figured I'll be crafting. Do I know what I will be crafting? No. This does mean that if I want to keep my 2-day head start, tomorrow, I need to finish 2 things. But kind of like low 3 weeks ago not being the same low today, low tomorrow, she's not my problem. Let's see. Okay, happy day 4, part 2. More importantly, happy The Life of a Showgirl release day. After all, I am only a white woman, so really what what were you expecting? Yesterday, I finished. I glued the heart on the... Do you like my homemade lace? Like, I don't think it's bad. It's actually kind of good. The bunnies... I am contractually obligated at this point to have them somewhere in all of my stuff. So I will finish the bunnies. They will be glued on. I made a little bow. This one will also be glued on here. I think what I'm most confused about with this is I have no idea what I'm going to write on the heart. When I drew the bunny last year, I had if you don't let it go, it will kill you. I am tempted to just put that on here again, as if like the bunny's like, hey, I'm back. Remember me from last year? Okay, that's kind of cute. Hold on. Oh, I'm great. I'm so good. I'm so good at this. I just need to know that these like line up nicely on top of the stars. I'll take a reference photo and then we can kind of, you know, go from there. Yeah, I'm already gonna need that reference photo. Oh no. Gingham is done. Donezo. I will have to take photos of that tomorrow. Because frankly, I don't want to do it right now. Which means that day 4 is done and we can move over to day 5. Welcome to day 5. The prompt today is Poppy. After the disaster that was day 1, I'm kind of scared to pick up my iPad. But I don't think I'll be able to paint what I want to paint traditionally. Like, I don't think I have the skills. Okay, no. This is an iPad piece. This is a digital piece. We're not doing it. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it in like 2 hours. I guess we'll see. I guess that's my goal. To do that. To do Poppy in 2 hours. And we'll see how that works. We'll see how realistic of a goal that timeline is. Hey, Lo from the future. Was that stupid of me? Was that a ridiculous goal to set for myself? Let me know. It seemed like I learned my lesson from day one, because if you pay attention to like the first 3 or 4 flowers, I was being a bit too meticulous. And then this agitating, grating voice in the back of my head said, girl, we are not doing this. Make the brush bigger and zoom out. So I did. At the end of the day, I'm glad I did this on Procreate, because to get the like blurry effect, like the movement of the flowers, I did some layers on top of the like original, because I have started to try to paint only on one layer to once again emulate the feeling of like real traditional media. I used a couple of extra layers where I turned the opacity down so that I knew that I wouldn't, for one, I was able to like make changes without smudging and messing up the actual like original main painting. So I'm glad I did that. In a like, yes, the flowers aren't as detailed as like a detailed painting would be, but that wasn't the point. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm kind of proud of myself for making a I almost said shitty. A blobby painting, I guess. Like a less detailed, I don't know. It's just something a bit more loose, I guess. Loose is the word I'm looking for. Well, that was a quick affair. Doing it again, holding up my iPad. I did it. I might like add some like grain or something. But sure, it's good. It's good enough. Usually it's not until like day 12 I start doing, oh, it's good enough. But you know what? It's good enough. It's got charm. It's got personality. How was that for you? Was that fun? I am a bit scared after week 1, but now I've said A, so now I must say B. Is that an idiom where you're from, or did I just sound insane? Thank you again to kittl for sponsoring this video and pulling me through day 3. Follow me on Instagram and head over to my Patreon if you want. I can't really force you, this is a recording. Let me know if you're doing peachtober and how that's going for you, and I'll see you next week for week 2. Bye!